Hello everyone, Combi Driver here, coming at you with a interesting combo for this week's Daily B on Gran Turismo 7. We are on Trial Mountain with Group 4 cars that produce very close racing, but some people took the close racing way too far. Stick with me until the end to see what happens in this intense race. We started P5 on the Audi TT Cup into this tricky first section, lifting the throttle carefully, avoiding sudden changes on the car, looking for the scarps and trying to keep the speed into this next corner, clipping it as a late apex and try to keep it as close as we can, as you can see. Now we come into this braking zone and we are approaching where the brakes at. Now this section is more about keeping it close rather than trying to do an overtake. That's because we are approaching the back straight, in which you use a lot of slipstream into this heavy braking zone. That it's a very fun corner to take. You can take different lines at different speeds trying to seek that overtake, and that is why I like that corner very much. We continue our pursuit of P4. We are keeping it very close, putting as much as pressure as we can into this downhill braking zone. That is a very tricky one. It's easy to get a penalty if you go too on the inside of that curb. Now we go into this chicane, into this braking zone, and P4 slams the door into us. A very aggressive defensive move. Maybe he thought we were going to dive. We were not, but okay. Now this is the end of lap 1, and into here we jump at the beginning of jump 3, as lap 2 was pretty uneventful. But here we are now 1.1 seconds behind P4, but we are on the chase. Into this first corner we are taking it very nice, keeping up the speed, taking on the curves, and we are approaching now. We see that P4 is fighting with P3, and now we see that P3 is with a 1.5 penalty. That makes me think of a possible podium. Now it is the possibility of a podium if we keep it very close. Now here in this corner Joe goes wide, going back to P4, and where the brakes at goes into P3. But now this slipstream is gonna help Joe into this braking zone, trying to retake that P3, which I think he manages to. But where the brakes at comes with a nice line, a nice speed. Let's see what happens up in front. Now in this braking zone P4 goes a little bit deep, allowing us to go on the outside, trying to catch P4. Now we get into the inside, into the curve. We check that where the brakes at is out the outside. We give them space, the necessary space, and as a result he keeps P4 into this braking zone. Here at this point Mediocre Joe takes his 1.5 penalty, promoting us to P4 and enabling us to start the pursuit for P3. Now here we take these corners very well. We manage to keep a nice speed, which allow us to approach to the tail or where the brakes at. And here at this braking zone we keep it tight on the inside, and we try to carry as much speed as we can on the outside. Now the goal here again is to keep right on his tail, waiting for the moment, for the striking moment that I believe is going to come on the back straight, at the end of the back straight, on that braking zone. But we have to prepare this entry very well, something that I believe that we managed to do. Here where the brakes at tries to break the slipstream, waving on the back straight, maybe a little bit too much waving. I don't know, I think that's still fair, but we are going to stick ourselves into that tail. Now here into the braking zone, I pull to the right, he pulls to the right as well. On to braking, he goes a bit wide. We take that inside line, trying to carry as much speed as we can, but it's not enough to put us in front. Now here in this braking zone, I end up tapping him a little bit, so I back off, giving him space, because tapping and overtaking was not going to be cool. And we are going to see if we can take that position at the final moment. At this point I thought it was going to be hard because of the advantage he has on us, but on this braking zone I brake a little bit late, or he brakes earlier, but then he starts running into me. Now the car behind smashes me because he has nowhere to go, but he starts pushing cars over and over, trying to keep that P4, which he doesn't get to do. And I am pretty infuriated at this point. Now I see his sportsmanship rating, I see a B, I should have trusted. But now let's check the replay from his perspective. Now into this turn he goes very slow. At this point, look at the steering, it's right into me. But now you can say, hey, combi driver, he was trying to take a racing line. But if you check, that line was still going to be very tight. And the fact that he pushes other drivers down to the finish line is what indicates me that we are inside of a dirty and probably desperate driver. It's sad to see that kind of driving. You're trying to keep it clean, have a good race, and down the last turn this guy comes in and ruins not just your race, but other players' race as well. Now I hope that beyond sportsmanship demotes him to lower lobbies, that doesn't affect people who is here to actually race. Anyway, this is still a very fun race to try this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, your support with a like will mean the world to me, and tell me on the comments below if you have also found some dirty driving like this. And subscribe to the channel. I will upload more racing content of Gran Turismo 7, including some dirty players that I could find around. This was Combi Driver, please race clean, and see you next time.